I know, Isaiah. I've been watching the entire time. I've been watching the last couple of hours, actually. I've been sitting at the computer while I've been watching the NASCAR race, just waiting to see if anything would unfold here. I was expecting to probably end up going live. I did even say it yesterday in the videos that at the end I'll probably see you tomorrow. And hence here we are. Only problem that I really don't like is that between the mountains that are right here and the radar being in such close prox, we're probably going to have trouble with radar. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult as far as finding rotation. Not impossible, but it's going to be a little bit of a pain, not going to lie. Good bit of lightning with that storm that does have the tornado warning, though. Why does my hat look so weird? I guess I'm just not used to the hairstyle. Right. Using KDAX. See if that'll work a little bit better. Or tell 2. Let's go back to 1. Okay, there we go. Still not great, but it'll have to do. It's not like Orville's gonna give us any. Orville's not gonna really do us any favors with it being right on top of it. Yeah, I do see the rotation though. Yeah, I saw it just before it went into the radar hole. I said to myself, this is probably gonna produce a tornado warning or prompt a tornado warning at some point. Well, I don't expect a lot of viewers from this. If it happens, then awesome. If not, then it is what it is. Could you share the stream on Discord if you could? I'm still somewhat setting stuff up. I was just kind of like, maybe it'll do something, maybe it won't. If it wasn't, I wasn't going to put too much energy into it until it did. Especially since the Storm Prediction Center wasn't going to put up a watch. I saw that from jump. Okay. Looks like a lot of people are covering this right now too. Trying to still set up my third screen here. Yeah, the rotation's is right here, just to the south of Concal. What? To announcements? What? Alright, it's okay. I'll get it. I don't know why you don't have that. I'll have to fix that later. It's odd. Discord's been doing some odd stuff lately, if I'm being honest, though, too, so that doesn't fully surprise me. Forgot I was using the laptop to watch the UFC fight on Saturday. And some boxing. Also, if you're just tuning in for the first time tonight by chance, definitely hit that like button, hit that share button as well, especially essential to get this word out to as many people as we can that around the Oroville area there is a tornado warning and a rotating storm right now. Very clear sign of rotation at that. Wait, let's see what I got here. Alright. So I got that. Alright, I got the link. Give me just a second here and we should be all set now. Daggone it. Forget that this one doesn't have the Windows taskbar set up. I have to do that manually. Okay, let's see what the Chico storm here is doing. It does have a tornado possible tag on it as well. Also, another thing to note here, even if you don't end up getting a tornado warning in this area, the wind advisory is in effect here. So you're going to feel those winds one way or another, regardless of whether or not they're tornadic. And that could be problematic as well. Rhymed. If only it was funny right now. Okay, I got the link up. Boom. So I'm using 3 monitors here to monitor chat, to monitor video feeds, and then, of course, monitoring radar Omega here. Storm near San Francisco? That doesn't surprise me. Most of our lift components were really going to be more towards San Francisco. I was seeing that on the models, in particular yesterday. Okay, so we got that screen set up. I'm going to try and see if we can't get a picture of what's going on over here towards Oroville. Chest is a little itchy. Sorry if that looks weird. But this is honestly like somewhat of a semi-textbook like cold core setup. Because look at the surface temperatures right here. Really, I think it's going to be like a Western Plains type, or really more so like a Western Plains type setup. Here's our point of rotation, still holding out there. But you got the mountains, however, this time the mountains are off to the east here instead of the west. So that downslope alongside this storm front that's clashing with it is really what's going to help get things going here with rotation. I still think this isn't going to be a long duration event, but still something to watch. Something we'll be keeping an extra close eye on here. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and try to pull up some camera feeds around here. This is Oroville. Cannot type today to save my life. Hope everyone's having a good day, by the way. Okay, I don't know why it's choosing for me. Okay. Anyway, got that going now. Okay, let's see if we can't get a view here. These are all stills. Nothing. I don't think I have anything over here right now, unfortunately. Let's see if I can take this to split screen here. We went into rave mode? No, we didn't. Okay, good. Just keep this going here, and we'll go ahead and get things going here with the sky cams, hopefully. Probably about to see this go on to the mountains here. Wouldn't it be something if somebody ended up catching this, producing a tornado on the mountain? It's not unheard of, but it can happen. It can happen. But wouldn't that be something with this particular event? I mean, we've had just about everything happening over here over the last couple of months, really. There have been other significant events going on here, too. Truthfully, Tricks, I didn't know if I was going to be streaming either. I was just kind of on standby. Waiting to see if this would actually do something or not. I was just kind of waiting till the last minute. There's not going to be any pictures here over towards Oroville. It looks like the only cameras that I've found there are all still shots. Really just cameras from people's house. Yeah, these kinds of events here though, Tricks, they're really hard to tell if they're gonna do anything or not. It's a game of chance really, I would say. Either these will produce or they won't. And I was literally been sitting here watching this on radar for the last couple last couple hours intermittently as I've been just here at home chilling. So, yeah, like the Storm Prediction Center isn't even going to issue a watch on this, which is fine. I mean, I didn't expect anything widespread, so it makes sense. But still, it's kind of tricky to. It's kind of more reactive type of thing. Warning got issued. I said, all right, let's go. This is probably going to be a short stream, too. One of the shortest streams I've done, most likely. Unless something really major happens here. Let's see if I can find a camera over here towards Caribou. Maybe I can get lucky. Yeah, I honestly hate these kinds of situations because it happens at the drop of a dime. And if you have something going on, you pretty much miss the window. But since I was here, there you go. Also, if you see me looking far off to the left, I am watching the NASCAR race right now, too. Just a heads up. Uh-oh. And here we go with the server issues with YouTube. God damn. God, freaking. I'm trying not to cuss here. There we go. Literally about 10 minutes here. It always does that. Let's hope that it actually will be more stable this time around. I will be switching to OBS here because I do think it could be a Streamlabs issue. Latency might not be the problem here. I think I have it pretty well set up. At least I'd like to think so. You think so? All right, let's go ahead and look at the San Fran storm here. We might have to switch sites though. Is there anything nearby? Looks like the closest one is near San Jose. Okay, it does have a Tor possible tag on it, so can't rule it out. We know that California is not super experienced when it comes to severe weather, so maybe the NWS might be a little bit lackadaisical on that. Not trying to bash them or anything, but San Fran have California has a little history there, or at least NWSLA has a little history for missing the beat here, so to speak. Am I considering doing storm chasing streams? I don't have storm chasing money. That is super expensive. Between the gas, the hotels, and then really just having a car that can run in those conditions, it just costs so much. It's the thing that like no people really ever talk about or think about when it comes to storm chasing is the actual like logistical part to it. They just think you go out there and you chase. There's a lot more to it, unfortunately. If I could, trust me, I would. I'd love to storm chase. And on top of that, where I live, it's super dangerous too. We'll see if you're right on that one because you know how CC can be sometimes. You've been on a roll though lately, Isaiah, so I'll give you. I'll at least check it out here. What radar are you using for the San Francisco storm though? Yeah, the thing about the Southeast is there's a lot of hills, a lot of trees, and then on top of that, just in this environment alone, whenever the Southeast gets severe weather, typically the storms are moving at highway speeds, like they're moving 60 to 70 miles an hour, and then you also have to remember these storms, the stoplights don't apply to them, basically. So what ends up happening is you end up either taking a wrong turn or you simply just can't see the tornado until it's like right on top of you. So it's just really risky. And on top of that, the vehicle that I do drive, there's a few issues with it that I need to resolve before I would even consider doing it. So, yeah, it's just a lot working against me right now as far as that's concerned. Otherwise, I'd be more than willing to do it. Alrighty, let's see. I don't really see anything. Isaiah, do you have another radar site that I could use, my boy? Because this just looks like a bunch of noise right here. Yeah, thanks. It's no big deal. I mean, once we get into spring, I think it'll be a lot more interesting, especially since no one really wanted to chase this one because it was very uncertain. And that's the thing. Like I said, you don't get reimbursed if you chase something and you get a bust out of it. Like you don't get a tornado or any good photography to sell to news networks or anything like that. It's very much a legitimate business. Okay, so I guess all we can do is go back to these storms up here because I can't really see anything over towards San Fran. Okay, Dax. Let's see if we still have any rotation with this storm right now. Seems like it's still there, but it's kind of hard to tell because we're starting to get further away from the radar here. Maybe if I go to tilt 2, I can get a better look at this. It's kind of hard to tell if there's anything on the ground here. It looks mostly like a lot of interference here. I didn't see what you were talking about with the San Fran storm, man. I didn't see any sort of evidence of debris. I guess we can go back towards that area and look and see if there's a camera or something I can look at. San Carlos. This is about to pass the bay. And then we may have to watch towards southeast Oakland. It's like one tiny little pixel. If I get a chance, I'll get radar scope, but it probably isn't gonna be anytime soon right now, given the current situation I'm in. Since I have to fix a car. Alrighty then. I guess we'll try and see if we can't get a view of the San Francisco Bay here. There we go. Okay, we do have a sky cam for the San Francisco Bay, maybe. works or not. Okay, so we do have something here. Yeah, I figured it would fall apart with something being that far to the south here. It just isn't going to really be anything, any sort of lifting mechanism able to keep it going. There wasn't going to be a sufficient amount of lift, and then on top of that, temperatures are kind of well. The surface temperatures will help it get going, but nothing would keep it going. Uh oh. And I don't really see anything with the Chico storm. This literally could be, like I said, maybe one of the shortest streams I've ever done here. I'll probably try to go up to about an hour at the very least, though. All right. We can look at the bay, and I mean, it looks kind of suspicious for what we have going on over there. But it's nothing like, obviously, nothing too crazy going on. It's definitely windy over there right now, for sure. But yeah, this is the current live feed that I have over there right now. If I can keep my stream running. Daggone it. Cut it out. Don't do that to me. Okay, it looks like we're good again. All right, let's see if I got this up and running here. Okay, there we go. So hoping you were seeing everything I was seeing, but for some reason it wasn't updating on my screen here. Like I said, this is probably going to be one of the last streams I do on Streamlabs. We'll be making the switch over to OBS within the week. We'll probably need something a little bit more stable than what we've been getting from Streamlabs. Okay, so I'm seeing what you were talking about earlier on my brain. I was seeing what you were talking about earlier on radar scope with those frames. It looks like there could be something there, but it's not a really strong drop. I'd want to see a little bit sharper of a drop if I'm being honest. Not to say that it doesn't look suspicious, but it's definitely hard to tell on that one. We'll just have to look for a ground survey from that point. Yeah, this is what we have going on here towards the San Francisco Bay. Those clouds look kind of low. But that's really the only view we're going to get out of that. Alright, so now they're downsizing that tornado warning. So we'll probably start to work from that point. Yeah, what is it with this thing, man? There we go. We got it working again. Yeah, as far as the YouTube server, it's just screaming at me right now. I really think it's an issue with Streamlabs. So 9 minutes left on this tornado warning. We'll probably end up seeing this expire. And it's going to be heading into much more stable air. So this one's probably going to be done. And it looks like they just let that severe thunderstorm warning flanking it to expire here. So looks like I said, it's gonna be a really short stream here. Doesn't look like there's too much more in the way of significant storms at the moment. We'll shift over to some of these other radar sites and kind of get an idea of what else we could expect here. Really thought it would be just more or less a handful of storms at best. That's why I didn't start streaming sooner. Oh boy, still acting up. Yeah, once it gets on that mountain, there's not much more you can really do at that point. It's just one of those things. And that's the off-putting thing about trying to chase out west is that there's so many mountains. It's going to be really difficult, almost impossible to track it. There's ways you could go about it, but you have to be able to read the sky, not so much the radar, because it's not going to be quite as reliable as what you would want it to be. It can be that way in other areas in the U.S., but over here you have to use your eyes more than anything else. They are your best tool. And really that's like that no matter where you go. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what's next here. So I guess what we'll do at the 45-minute mark, if nothing happens, we'll discuss the next severe setup, and then we'll call it a night. Okay. So it looks like we don't really have much more in the way of radar coverage for this area for a little bit here. Maybe I could sneak into Nevada and try and get a look at it. It's a good picture, but yeah, the rotation's gone. There's nothing there now. Just to make sure, but yeah, it's gone. It is completely gone. So we're done with that storm. And then we'll kind of go from there. Uh-oh. Losing my data here. Come on, don't do that to me. There we go. Does not look like we have too much more to go beyond this point, though. Yeah, that storm's shriveling up. That cold air is eating it alive. The marginal risk is mainly going to be for hail. There's nothing really to talk about with that. Storms are going to be elevated. Thursday's a little bit more notable. Friday's interesting as well. Really what you need to be looking for is at the end of the month from the looks of it. I've been kind of talking about that setup for the last few days, though, in particular. I think a big part of what's kind of messing with the Thursday, Friday setup is the amplitude of that jet stream. It's just not very impressive. Ooh. Oh, here they go. I'm watching the NASCAR race. It's starting to get pretty interesting out there right now in Florida. I feel like a wreck's coming on there. So they've let that severe thunderstorm warning expire. Tornado warning is going to be right behind it. still could potentially drop some hail, but I'm not expecting a whole lot to come of it. Oh boy, yeah, they getting aggressive now. Every time I look away, I can see it out the corner of my eye. Those cars moving around. Yeah, I think all of us are. Kyle's been watching it real close. I've been watching it. I've been kind of calling on it since I first saw it on the GFS run about almost a week ago. We'll see if that trend continues, but I'm definitely anticipating an increase in activity as we get into February. Makes sense considering we're shifting from winter into spring. Three wide. Two minutes. There is also a pretty palpable wintry side to this system as well. I took down the winter storm severity index so that way we could get some clarity once we saw the tornado threat begin to come into play. But looking at the winter storm severity impacts, it looks like there's actually a couple of areas where we might be looking at high risk here. Of course, these are towards the mountain peaks, but these are going to be, even so, having the pink on here is a statement to say the least. We could be seeing at least a couple feet of snow, if not more, with this system too on the higher elevation peaks. You see those winter storm warnings there. Would also not be surprised to maybe see a blizzard warning. I just don't think the winds are going to be strong enough for long enough, so to speak. Okay. And there goes the tornado warning. So we'll just kind of sit around for a little bit, wait and see what happens, and then we'll probably go on from that point. So while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and take a look at some weather model data while I'm at it here. Try to get organized so that way I get ready to go for the next. Uh-oh. We're trying to get set up. Hopefully this isn't going out. It's been about probably 2 or 3 weeks since I've seen it. Hopefully you guys still have a feed going here. I don't know what's going on with my setup here. There we go. I get the feeling there's about to be a wreck here. All right. I think I might try and get this set up now. So basically this is going to be oh, there's the wreck. Ooh, one of those cars got really lucky. That was a close call. But yep, there's a huge pileup on the NASCAR race now. Sheesh. I don't know if you heard the commentators, but yeah, it was only a matter of time. I saw the way they were racing there. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. We're looking all the way up top, and then we're going to work our way down here. So This is at jet airliner altitude. This is what our current storm is doing in the upper levels of the atmosphere, what it's looking like. Like I said, right where these Sierra Mountains are, if we were able to go back a frame before then when that storm was initially like making impact here, it was that little upslope of wind there would have created a little bit of a horizontal rotation there. Any storms that would have developed took it into the vertical, maybe would have seen a tornado. We'll have to see what the surveys say if there was any tornadoes that did occur here. So we continue to go forward here. You see this ridge, warm air coming in. If this trough had better amplitude, as in other words, basically if this was digging down, I'd be much more concerned about this upcoming week's setup. But considering how we lose that amplitude really quickly because of how quickly it evolved, because whenever you see these little wind maximums to the right, that's as strong as that trough is ever going to get. That's as evolved as that trough is going to ever get. So as we continue to go forward here, we see this start to level out here, and as a result, it just kind of nullifies some of that severe potential. Towards the downslope of that, maybe you could see something, but like I said, it's nothing incredible. It's not going to be anything compared to what we could see down the line here. So start to see another ridge develop, and then look what we have here. And we see this trough get kicked out by another trough, and that is a red flag to me off rip. So if this ends up ejecting, if it ends up ejecting this one, and then this next one starts to really ramp up here, this could be a problem for not only maybe parts of traditional Tornado Alley, but also maybe even Dixie Alley as well. It's going to be right towards the end of the month into the beginning of March where we see those two systems. Also, another thing to make note of is this storm system on the 28th. Look at how it develops right here. As these two low pressure areas kind of split off a little bit, this one kind of diminishes for a bit, picks up this other area and redevelops. But as this one's doing so, it's going to catch some cold air. We could be seeing a wintry system with this storm here too. So there's going to be a lot to watch as we get towards the end of the month. So we might have at least one more stream, possibly, maybe one to start March too. But we'll just have to keep an eye on things and see how things play out. And then after that point, looks like we start to get into a little bit more stable of a pattern for a moment at least, and then we'll have to watch what this guy ends up doing. Keep in mind, we're looking 16 days in advance, so there you go. We're looking at the 500 area, and we're going to wait for that to load, of course. You say that now. You keep saying that now, but you're going to end up regretting that. You're going to eat those words, I'm telling you. Now, let's hope this is still working. There we go. It's coming back around. So here's that same setup that we're going to be looking at, going by a little bit more so towards the lower levels of the atmosphere. This is where this is where a lot of meteorologists look in the atmosphere in regards to these setups. Like I said, this next setup here looks a lot more impressive, a lot better amplitude, and I think as a result we could see couple chances of severe weather again right towards the end of the month. And then here's that other system that I'm watching as well. Here's where that cold air really starts to kick in here. And then of course maybe towards the downslope of this here is where we could see a couple chances of severe weather right at the start of May. And then right here we need to watch this storm. Although it does look like more cold air coming in will mean that this could be a Gulf Coast type event. Then after that, there's that ridge building up, and here we go once again. Well, during the springtime, that's what typically will happen. You get an increased chance of tornadoes. Not a guarantee, but it happens. So, I mean, it's kind of weird because in a sense, this is where I actually get viewers the most is whenever severe weather's ongoing, and I kind of have mixed feelings about it. In one sense, I love getting to cover the weather, but at the same time, never forget what it can do to people. So with that being said, I guess now really the thing to do at this point probably is going to be to end the stream in the next little bit if things continue as they are right now. Go back to the reflectivity and kind of go on from that point. Up to 9 likes. I'm surprised that we got that far, even considering the suddenness of when I got on the stream, and then also just really, we're not gonna see a whole lot out of this. Check out this special weather statement real quick, see what we got going with that. I would love to actually read it. Okay, there we go. So this storm here with the special weather statement has wind gusts up to 50 and pea-sized hail possible. So not a severe storm, but definitely could be an inconvenience. Hopefully you have the trampoline inside the house. Hopefully you have the lawn chairs in the house. But this will probably start to weaken here in the next little bit here, especially as it gets closer to those mountains. Still a warm sector over here that could be able to maybe get some stronger storm to develop, but really the lifting mechanism is way too far to the north to allot for that. So we're kind of more or less on the back end of this here. So we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit and see what happens. We'll probably stream for about an hour or something. Up to 8 people. Wow. Thanks for tuning in here. It really wasn't too much going on. There were a couple tornado warnings earlier. If you end up leaving, I understand. Because this is about as good as it's going to get, it looks like. Or as interesting as it's going to get. I don't think anything touched down. I can't tell for sure right now. I didn't see any concrete evidence of a tornado on the ground today. So that's good news here. There's still a couple. There might be still maybe one odd storm that could try and produce something. Wouldn't be surprised if over towards Grass Valley it tried, but I'm really kind of leaning against it considering just how the overall structure of the storm is looking. Got storms rolling through Sacramento right now. And while the surface temperature is decent, it's going to start to drop in the next little bit here. So, and then after that, look at how the temperatures drop off. We're getting into 40s and 30s. And into those higher elevations, we have winter storm warnings in effect. Dang, Ryan Blaney in another accident. Ooh, yeah, it looked like that hurt. Watching the onboard cameras of these accidents is sometimes crazy when it comes to watching NASCAR. All right, so I guess we'll probably just, like I said, we're probably just gonna hang out for a couple minutes more, and then we'll be out of here. I also want to say to everybody who has tuned in, though, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, nothing crazy going on today, but definitely something that I was wanting to keep a close eye on. And if it turned into something big, I wanted to be there for it. Don't forget to like, share, and also leave a comment. And if you know anyone that's interested in weather, if you know a weather forum, definitely drop a link to the channel here. It's in the description. And of course, definitely subs help as well. But I think that's all I got for you guys. I'm thankful for you all being here. We'll be making a video tomorrow. Until then, you guys have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time.